Case number 11. Let us look for the identity that is a simplified form of this expression sine rho plus the product of cosine squared rho and cosecant rho. In order for us to solve this, we need to express cosecant in terms of either cosine, sine, or a combination of both if it's possible, and look for the proper steps in combining all these terms into one identity or a combination of two or more. Let's start by just copying our sine rho here because it's already in its simplest form, sine rho, as well as our cosine squared of rho. But as mentioned, we are going to express cosecant in terms of sine or cosine. But more specifically, cosecant rho is the reciprocal of sine. So it is 1 over sine rho. Take note that this is under multiplication and you cannot cancel this nor this here because this is one term. To continue, we can now multiply this into 1. You will have sine of rho plus you have your rational expression cosecant squared of rho over sine rho. Here we have a rational expression with this identity here. We know that this is actually over 1 and the goal here is to combine them into one expression. So our LCD here, if 1 is automatically with denominator of 1, is just this denominator here. You have sine of rho. But if you're going to do so, your first numerator here will no longer be just sine, because this is what will happen. Sine rho divided by 1 is sine rho times another sine rho. So you have square of sine rho, or simply sine squared of rho. On the other side, sine rho divided by sine rho is just 1. That would mean we will just simply retain our numerator of cosecant squared of rho. Let me continue this here because we are almost done in solving for the identity here. Whenever you come across with the square of sine plus the square of cosine of the same angle, in this case rho, but it could also work for theta, x, alpha, even y, as long as sine squared is added to cosine squared or vice versa, cosecant squared is added to sine squared of the same angle, that is actually another identity just equal to 1. So again, the sine squared of rho plus cosine squared of rho is just 1. And we are left with our denominator of sine rho. This would mean that the identity here is 1 over sine rho, or automatically equivalent to cosecant of rho. In short, the identity when we add sine rho by the product of cosine squared rho and cosecant rho is simply cosecant rho. This case for missing identity is now closed. If you may, to be ready for some new cases, subscribe now.